they got their name Blackfoot from the color of the moccasins that they wore. However, it's not their clothes, but their actions that gave this Osage offensive line its name.
Well, for those who still can't bear the thought of Albert Pujols no longer being a Cardinal, then look away right now. The first baseman finally spoke today about his move out to the warmer weather in Los Angeles.
So Shimmon's moved from the field to the stands, but now he's in the press box. Why? I'm here with Ty Green, who's a senior offensive guard and defensive tackle for Boonville. Now, what do you think about the season so far, Ty?
Some good football should be coming to the Edward Jones Dome shortly. I'm not talking about Rams. I'm talking about when teams score off for the high school football state finals.
DGB, a big guy from a big family. His parents were here, and he had 9 brothers and sisters all here to support.
So Texas is kind of a big deal. You may have heard that they have their own television network. It's also the only team in the Big 12 Gary Pinkel's Tigers have not beaten.
Missouri's first game of March Madness will be on Friday against number 15 Norfolk State. Now, if the Tigers progress far enough, they could come across number 1 Michigan State in the Elite Eight. Odd fact between those two teams, they're the only 2 out of the top 8 seeds overall to win their conference tournaments. In Columbia, Brad Galbraith, KOMU 8 Sports.
All team.
Dylan Fork's job is to get the crowd pumped up.
I kind of get the cheers going, tell them what cheers we're going to be doing next.
In the stands, he becomes a different person than he is at home.
It's fun to watch him, and I think it's just, watching his excitement and some of the crazy things he does, jumping around. He's really kind of quiet at home.
But Dylan knows what the players need to hear. He was one of them. Fork played football his freshman year, but then his career was cut short. He suffered a stress fracture in his back while playing basketball, causing him to miss his entire sophomore year.
I was planning on playing my junior year. It started bothering me again. So then last November, I had back surgery, so I just decided not to play this year.
A difficult transition to make.
It was pretty tough at first, especially because a lot of these football players are like some of my best friends, and can't really play with them, so it felt kind of like I was letting them down.
But what he can't do on the field, he makes up for from the stands.
I think this is an extension of Dylan being on the field. Even when he was injured and couldn't be on the field but was dressing out, he was out there trying to pump up the guys.
Supporting his teammates, his friends.
He's a great kid, and he shows a tremendous amount of sport. These kids out here are his friends, and he wants to make sure that they're getting the best that they can from him.
And wearing the F for Falcons on his chest rather than on a jersey. Brad Galbraith, KOMU 8 Sports, Jefferson City.
2 years ago, Huntsville's Kenny Wise was the focus of one of our Fan in the Stands segments. Now, Wise makes an encore, but as KOMU 8's Brad Galbraith shows us, this time it's because the team is honoring him. The West Strand football family took its home field Friday night, 1 member short.
He was always there on the sidelines doing stats and everything, and he'd come to our practices and watch us, and I think that made it special too, just him being there all the time.
Kenny Wise is no longer there. Wise never woke up after undergoing heart valve surgery on May 24th. After 6 days of no improvement, his family decided to withdraw care, and on May 30th, everyone lost a friend. Wise was 53.
He'd make a sandwich for you, or he'd keep stats. I mean, he'd get you pumped up, slap you upside on the helmet. If you made a bad play, you'd come over, you hear about it from Kenny first.
So Friday's game became more than just touchdowns and points on the scoreboard. It was about honoring someone who only knew how to love.
The day before his surgery, he cooked hamburgers and hot dogs for the track field day for the elementary school. He was in pain. He was having a hard time breathing and things, but he was out there.
Kenny Wise will never be forgotten, and he might not be standing on the sideline, but many can still feel his presence.
I know he's watching tonight for every Friday with us, all 15 weeks hopefully.
The only thing that's changed, his view of the field.
He lived for Friday nights for West Strand football. He loved being here every Friday night, no matter how he felt, and he was always here, no matter what. And I mean, he would do anything for them, and they would do anything for him.
Now every Friday, he'll be looking down as the sun sets and the lights shine bright on the West Strand football field. Brad Galbraith, KOMU 8 Sports, Huntsville.